What is up, creators? This is Tom, welcome back to another video. So I recently made a video on the channel about why I'm thinking of choosing the Canon EOS R6 over the R5. Now I got a ton of comments on that video, and there were quite a few people who highlighted the fact that the R6 only shoots what is called IPB compression of footage. There is no ALL-I or all-intra compression for the footage on the R6, which basically, in a nutshell, means that the amount of data that you can get out of the R6 compared to the R5 is significantly lower. But just how different is that in actual use, real-world use of the camera? So I have my Canon EOS R in front of me. That shoots C-Log, it shoots ALL-I and IPB footage. So it's a good sort of proxy for when we don't have the R5 or the R6 out yet in terms of like actually in our hands. So what am I going to do is I'm going to throw up a bunch of clips in IPB and all-intra compression on the R6, and I'm basically just going to see whether you can guess between IPB and ALL-I. In terms of actual real-world usage, I actually have found that IPB holds up extremely well. Now we might see that Canon actually in a software update allows ALL-I to be on the R6. We will see about that, but for now it's probably looking like we're going to be stuck with IPB. But just how different actually is that? Let's find out. Alright guys, so are we ready to go through these clips? So first of all, clip 1, you can see in the bottom left was 1080p in ALL-I. Then we go on to the difference between the IPB shot, sort of quite a bright, nice sunshine shot. I personally couldn't see any difference here. Clip number 2, you might have been able to tell, though I was using a slightly softer zoom lens, is 4K ALL-I clip number 2. And the second shot was IPB, 4K in IPB. Personally, again, I don't think you can see a lot of difference here. There was a bit of sort of color shift just because I was using just outside lighting and the sun changed around a little bit. Clip number 3, 4K ALL-I again for this shot. First of all, going ALL-I, and you can see just the detail that is in the 4K on both of these shots. The IPB is also a fantastic, really high quality 4K shot with a lot of detail. Getting into some lower light now, clip number 4 was 1080p IPB. This was a slightly lower light shot, as I just mentioned, but the ALL-I and the IPB again are looking super similar to me. And then finally we have clip number 5. I actually dramatically underexposed this. I'm still totally getting a little bit used to C-Log, I have to admit, but the exposure just sort of amounted for quite a lot of noise, which I thought was actually quite useful for the comparison. Again, the first clip was 1080p in IPB, and the second shot was the ALL-I. Could you see the difference? Personally, I don't think so. Yo guys, what's up? So I hope you found that comparison interesting and helpful. I certainly found it quite interesting to shoot this type of thing because I personally haven't ever done that type of test on the EOS R, where I literally just sort of side by side compare the IPB to the ALL-I. So it was super useful for me to do that. I've actually started shooting all of my A-roll, these sort of shots right here, in IPB because the difference is actually so minuscule. Personally, I feel like once you upload it to YouTube, you basically can't even remotely decipher the difference. When you're in your editing software, I pretty much can't even tell the difference at all. So when you apply YouTube compression on top, any sort of online video, you're pretty much not going to notice a difference because pretty much all web video services apply some form of compression. I think that the IPB format actually does a really fantastic job in sort of keeping the sort of vital detail necessary whilst not sort of bloating out the file sizes that you're working with. I certainly wouldn't be wanting to shoot sort of anything really crucial in IPB, just because it makes sense to have as much data to play around with if your sort of shot is absolutely vital. Maybe it's a short film or a music video or something like that. However, if you're shooting just sort of general content, I think IPB is a really fantastic choice. So the fact that this camera, the Canon EOS R6, is likely to only shoot in IPB, at least when it launches, we'll see whether or not it is updated with ALL-I down the line, I actually don't think is a detracting factor at all with this camera. Sure, there are times where you'd want that ALL-I compression, but personally I do think that the IPB format is pretty much good for almost anything, and that ALL-I really is just in case you need it there, just in case you sort of need that extra bit of color correcting, flexibility, or the sort of just future proofing that higher bitrate footage does provide. Like I said, guys, I hope this has been interesting and helpful. If you have any questions about maybe this codec, the cameras, the new Canon R5 or the R6, I'd love to start a conversation going down below in the comments. So let me know if you do have any questions down there. I'll be down there answering and commenting as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.